Good evening, folks. Welcome into Game 2, but please address your attention first to behind home plate for a special presentation before tonight's game.
The opportunity to observe the Matthew Miners organization for about 20 years, and I can just say without a doubt that this organization year after year has improved and has been just a tremendous contribution to the community. But I've got a baseball team here I'm going to bring out. Silvertip seniors from Palmer Little League. And on June 28th on this field, the Silvertip seniors baseball team, which is league age 13 through 16-year-olds, had the opportunity to play on this baseball field. And it's due to the generosity of the organization, but in particular one individual, Pete Christopher. Pete, come on out. Woo-hoo! Now, Palmer Little League has lots and lots of ball players, ranging from about 4 years old up until they're about 16 to 17 years old, and we play in fields that are about a couple miles from here. And of course, we try to take care of our fields, but the generosity of the Matthew Miners has been evident because our fields are looking fine because of this man right here. If there's anything that Palmer Little League needs, Pete is there to present it, and it's unlimited. And I can say that personally because I've watched the truckloads of stuff being dumped off in our ball field, and I appreciate that. So, in appreciation, Pete, for your generosity and hospitality and hosting the senior Silvertip team, Palmer Little League, and the whole organization. Here's a clap as
And now this Representative Shelley Hughes has a special presentation, and she will take it away from here.
Good evening, everyone. If we're going to have two presentations in one night, it's sure good that it's not raining, isn't it? Yay! Yeah. What a night. If you think of someone who is very enthusiastic and loves to get in and help and promotes the Matthew Miners and is a woman, who do you think of?
Sabrina Cole!
Denise? Yes, Sabrina, Denise Christopher. So tonight, come on out, Denise. She got a little suspicious. She saw me with a large envelope. She saw the flowers. But we're awarding her tonight with a legislative citation on behalf of the Alaska State Legislature to award her because of the fact that she won the highest honor by the Palmer Chamber of Commerce, the Pioneer Award, which is given to someone who really gets in and gives a hand across the community in many fronts. So what you see her do with the Matthew Miners is just the tip of the iceberg because she gets in and does that kind of thing with a lot of organizations. So Denise, we really thank you. And I actually have to use the cheat sheet because I just want to tell you, I was just so excited. Every time I see her, she's wearing Matthew Miner clothes. In fact, I thought if you took them all out of her closet, there wouldn't be anything in there. And she's actually not wearing something tonight. But she's just all about the Matthew Miners. But get this, she also volunteers with Red Cross, United Way, the Children's Place. She's been year after year on the Palmer Chamber Special Events. She has done Palmer High School Baseball Boosters, Palmer Littleworth League, Matson Regional Medical Center Employee Wellness Program. I mean, it's just incredible. She remembers them all. And on top of that, she's not just a volunteer, but because of her enthusiasm, she is so incredibly contagious that nobody can say no. So she's a leader of volunteers and brings more people on. I think that's one of the reasons why the community loves her. She's a big here, and we're just so grateful to have Denise. So Denise, if you want to come here. And Representative Bill Siltz would like to also say it.
Just a few words. We couldn't find green flowers, but we do have the minor yellow here. Just a small token of our appreciation. Denise, thank you. Thank you.
I think the kid is throwing up the ball. Oh, is that maybe that was the first thing? Kid, Chuck, did the kid throw the first pitch up? The farm bureau was going to be a kid. They introduced me out there. They were telling me about it. So I don't know. Maybe it's 2 nights in the farm. Who does he work for?
He's a magistrate.
He's a worker?
Magistrate, judge. No.
His name is what? Alaska Club and Farm Bureau.
Well, he ain't neither of those.
No, I guess not.
He's from.
Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Herman Brothers Field, and as your Matsu Miners take the field, please direct your attention down the first baseline. And the Honorable Dave Wink will be performing our national anthem. Please remove your head cover, stand and face the flag behind the center field fence as we honor our America with the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say gold banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Wick making his way up to the mound. He is an 8th grader at Palmer Junior Middle. Nathan Henry will be throwing out our first pitch. Folks, it's time for Matsu Miners Baseball.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into Herman Brothers Field. I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock for today's second game of the doubleheader, and the Miners won the first game 1-0, and the story there, folks, is Tyler Stubblefield pitched a complete game, gave up 4 hits, no walks, no runs, 11 strikeouts. It was just an outstanding performance by the lefty from Texas A&M, and getting the start for today's second game. On the mound right now is Sevi Romo. Romo with the 3-2 record, thrown for 25 1/3 innings pitched, 33 hits, 14 runs, 13 of those were earned, 8 walks, 19 strikeouts, with an ERA of 4.61. This is the 4th game he has started. The last outing he did a great job and just ready to start things off here, and the leadoff batter for the Panners, Brandon Caruso, the left fielder. Johnny Loker in left field, Cameron Frost in center, Cam Newell in right field for the Miners. The infield is Jordan Rogers at third, Panachone at short, Terrence Conley at second, Matthew Decker at first, and Mitchell Now doing the catching for Sevi Romo. Brandon Caruso, 9 RBIs, 5 doubles, 3 triples, and the first pitch by Romo in there, called strike 1. Caruso, a freshman out of Pepperdine University, played in the first game, was 1 for 3 with a single, then was thrown out by Stubblefield at second base. The 0-1 is swung on and fouled on the third base side. Caruso with an average of .281.
Caruso is 1 for 3 in game 1.
Gap out in left center field, as Loker is kind of moving towards our right, so kind of closing that gap. Frost is a few steps to our right in center field. Sevi sets for the 0-2, delivers, and it's a little outside for ball 1.
Romo is 3-2 with a 4.61 ERA. This is his 4th start. He's walked 8 in 25 1/3 innings.
1-2 pitch by Romo is in there, called strike 3, and a strikeout to start things off here in game 2 of the doubleheader.
Well, that's just exactly the way you want to start things off. It's a win game. You're really just fighting until that last game. And Sevi is, I think, has been much better as a starter than out of the bullpen. And that's not to say that he wasn't good out of the bullpen. He really was, but I think he's very comfortable in that starter's role as well.
That brings up the lefty, Chris Polino. First pitch by Romo is a little high and outside for ball 1. Polino, a junior out of University of California, Irvine. Bats left, throws right. 4 home runs, 20 RBIs, and 5 doubles on the season. Here's the 1-0. A little inside for ball 2. Polino hitting .302. The designated hitter in this game 2, he was in right field for game 1, had 2 flyouts and reached on a fielder's choice in the 6th for game 1. And the 2-0 is high and away for ball 3, and quickly Polino up in the count, 3 balls, no strikes. Mitchell now doing the catching for Sevi Romo, giving Josh Meyer a break. Meyer called a great game in the first game of the doubleheader. 3-0 by Romo. A little low, ball 4. So a strikeout and then a walk by Sevi Romo in the first. Base runner of the game is at first. And that brings up right fielder Jacob Hayes. Hayes hitting .360, 7 home runs, 34 RBIs, 8 doubles, and 3 triples. A left-handed batter. So in center field in the first game, went 0 for 3 with a line out and 2 strikeouts against Tyler Stubblefield. Romo sets. First pitch is blown away for ball 1, and Frost in center field playing very deep and about 2 steps over to our right. Like gap in left center field is still there. Newell playing deep and right as well. Jacob Hayes, a redshirt junior out of Indiana State University. Bats left, throws right from Terre Haute, Indiana.
It's free.
Sevi out of the University of San Diego. Just finished his freshman year.
1-0 is blown away, same spot as the first pitch, 2-0.
That's 6 straight balls for Sevi Romo.
Sevi looks into his catcher now. Quick look at first. Keep an eye on Chris Polino. Throw to first. Polino slides and is safe. Hayes, a powerful hitter. It's a lot for extra bases. Here's the 2-0. Outside again, now 3-0. That was just about the same part of the plate, but just a little higher, but not high enough in the strike zone.
Yeah, he's not really missing by much.
3-0 pitch by Romo. Same spot it looked like, but called strike 1. Now 3-1 count on Hayes. And it is Matsu Farm Bureau Day here at Herman Brothers. 3-0 by Romo is lifted deep into right center field. Going back for it is Frost. It's going, and it is gone for a 2-run home run by Jacob Hayes. And just like that, the Painters are on top, 2-0 in the top of the first. So after a kind of a rough start with, not throwing enough strikes, now a 2-run home run off of Jacob Hayes.
Folks, I am also very pleased to announce that the Anchorage Glacier Pilots have lost to the Peninsula Oilers by a final score of 4-1, and the Matsu Miners are champions of the National League.
And are heading to the top of the World Series.
That is correct. Congratulations to the Miners. What a great, I don't even want to say start, but just, they played so well all season.
Oh, they are so deserving of it. And now after that 2-run home run by by Jacob Hayes, Tanner Pinkston is now down in the count 0-2. What an exciting, that's just so exciting.
Yeah, it really is.
Pinkston, the lefty with the open stance. 0-2 swung on and lined into the dugout on the third base side by for the Painters. Pinkston stays alive with the 0-2 count. Pinkston, a sophomore out of the University of Cal State Fullerton, And that hits him on his shoulder, that pitch. Looked like it might have gone off the glove of Now, but instead it went off of Pinkston's right elbow. Has 3 straight base runners by Romo. That brings up the shortstop, Cody Nolf. We mentioned in the first game can be a very, very dangerous bat. And now the pitching coach for the Miners, Brad Baker, is going to head out to the mound to talk things over with Sevi Romo, along with the catcher, Mitchell Now. Cody Nolf checks in, hitting .339 with 8 home runs, 34 RBIs, 7 doubles, and 1 triple. Sophomore out of Orange Coast College, 6 foot, 180 pounds. Bats right, throws right. Hometown is Orange, California. In the first game, Nolf was 0 for 3. Stubblefield did a great job of holding him hitless. Nolf lined out in the first inning, then struck out swinging his last 2 at-bats in the 4th and 6th innings. Romo looks in. Pinkston at first with a lead off. He was hit by a pitch. Miners trail 0-2. Swung on and lifted deep into left field. Going back for it is Loker, and that is at the wall. Pinkston rounds second and heads into third. And now Cody Nolf with a double and is now the 4th base runner in a row for the Panners. Now 2 runners in scoring position. Pinkston at third and Nolf at second. That brings up Scott Hurst. Hurst hitting .444, 1 home run, 12 RBIs, 4 doubles, and 1 triple. Scott Hurst, a high school senior. There are actually 2 high school seniors, or excuse me, 3 on the Panners team. First pitch by Romo misses low and away for ball 1. Hurst, a senior out of Glendora, California, bats left, throws right, steps in, bat on his shoulder, picks it up as Romo sets. Romo takes a deep breath and delivers the 1-0. Swung on ground ball into the gap between Rogers and Panachone between second and third. Picked up by Loker and Pinkston scores, and Nolf moves to third. And Hurst, the high school senior, with an RBI single. That ball was just hit just fast enough that it beat Rogers. Rogers dove for it and just went under his glove and went in between Rogers and Panachone, the shortstop, into left field. Loker got a good jump on it, the left fielder, but Pinkston was able to score because he was already on third base, and Nolf just moved up to third base, and Hurst now at first. That brings up the catcher, Mike Wieland. Wieland steps in, very open stance in the left-handed batter's box. First pitch is low and inside for ball 1. Wieland with 3 home runs, 17 RBIs, 7 doubles, hitting .320. Wieland, a senior out of the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. 1-0 is low and away, ball 2. Hometown is Rock Island, Illinois. Wieland did not play in the first game. Eric Hutting did the catching for the Panners in game 1. 2-0 pitch is ground ball into right field between Conley and Decker at first. Nolf scores the 4th run of the game for the Panners. Hurst moves to second, and Wieland with the RBI single. So now the Panners lead 4-0. Brings up Tyler Mildenberg. Mitchell now talking things over with his pitcher, Sevy Romo. Sevy with a rough start here in the top of the first. The Panners lead 4-0. They have 4 runs on 4 hits. And the pitch by Romo is a little inside for ball 1 to Mildenberg. 1-0. Breaking ball in there, called strike 1. Hurst on second, and Wieland reached on the RBI single. Outfield playing straight away. Panich on the shortstop, backs up. Swung on and lined into center field. That's another base hit. And Hurst rounds third, heads home. Wieland holds up at second, and it's a RBI single for Tyler Mildenberg. And it looks like we might have a pitching change as head coach Ben Taylor comes out of the dugout to talk with Romo, and the entire infield will join him. And yes, we will have a pitching change here in the first inning. We will step aside and bring you everything you need to know about that new pitcher. Welcome back into Herman Brothers Field, and the new pitcher on the mound is out of the University of Tennessee, Kyle Serrano. Savvy Romo, tough outing here and having a pitching change in the first inning. Struck out Brandon Caruso, the leadoff batter, but then has had seven straight base runners. And Ryan Clark at the plate. First pitch by the Tennessee Volunteers, a little low for ball one.
Serrano 0-2 with a 4.50 ERA. He's pitched 24 innings. He struck out 36.
Serrano sets, and the 1-0. A little low for ball two.
Serrano last pitched July 19th against the Bucks. Went 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned. 4 walks, 4 strikeouts.
Clark checks in with a .364 average, 8 RBIs, and 6 doubles. Serrano sets, and the 2-0. In there, called strike one. Clark steps back into the right-handed batter's box. And the 2-1 by Serrano is low for ball three. Mike Wieland at second, Mildenberg at first. Both reached on RBI singles. The 3-1 by Serrano, swung on and ground ball, scooped up by Rogers to the third baseman, throw to second, throw to first. And it is a 5-4-3 double play to end the inning. And as we head to the bottom of the first inning, the Miners trail the Panners 5-0. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Bottom of the first inning here, and I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock. And just to kind of recap what happened at the top of the first, Sevi Romo got the start and struck out the leadoff batter, Brandon Caruso. Then walked Chris Polino, who batted second. Jacob Hayes, the lefty, stepped up to the plate and hit a 2-run home run, scoring the first 2 runs. Then Tanner Pinkston followed and was hit by a pitch and got on base. Cody Knoll stepped up and batted him to third base with a double. Scott Hurst then had an RBI single scoring Pinkston. Mike Whelan had an RBI single scoring Nolf. And then Tyler Mildenberg had an RBI single also scoring Hurst. Then Ryan Clark, the 9th batter, got out with a 5-4-3 double play after Kyle Serrano took over for Sevi Romo. So the Miners trail 5-0 here in the bottom of the first. At the plate now is Paul Panachone, the shortstop. Now down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Panachone with that leadoff spot again. There's the 0-2 pitch, and it's high and inside, ball 1. Jason Ford, the pitcher for the Panners. Ford, a freshman at Yale. Here's the 1-2 to Panachone. Inside, and Ford with a 3-1 record. 31 innings pitched, 38 hits, 23 runs, 20 of those are earned. 15 walks, 19 strikeouts. Swung on and ground ball to the second baseman. Dives for it. Mildenberg picks it up. Throw to first. But Panachone beats the throw for a leadoff single.
You know, all the credit to Tyler Mildenberg at second base. He gave that all he got, all he had, and just, you know, the speed from Panachone atop that lineup. He's got good speed, so not surprised he was able to beat that one out.
That brings up Cam Newell, the right fielder. Lefty out of UC Santa Barbara. Newell batting second, Decker third, Loker fourth, Frost fifth, Blazer sixth, Conley seventh, now 8th, and Rogers 9th. And Newell puts down a bunt to the third base side, scooped up by the third baseman Clark, throw to first. He's out, but Panachone makes it safely to second.
Now batting your first baseman, number 28, Matthew Decker.
And that brings up Matthew Decker out of Stanford. Decker, the first baseman. First game was 0 for 3 with a ground out, a strikeout, and a flyout. Decker with 2 home runs, 14 RBIs, and 5 doubles on the season, hitting .258. Ford sets, and the first pitch. In there called strike 1 right over the plate. Fastball. Panachone at second base. Quick base runner. Chasen looks into his catcher Wieland. Sets and delivers. Inside, but called strike 2. Decker takes a deep breath and steps back into the right-handed batter's box. There's a gap in left center field. Center fielder Hurst is a few steps over to our right. And the 0-2 is high and inside for ball 1, just about at Decker's shoulders. And Decker is listed as very tall. I'm trying to find the exact height. 6'4". And it was just about right at his shoulders. 1-2 pitch by Ford. And they're called strike 3 and got him looking. First strikeout of the night for Chasen Ford. So 2 away here in the bottom of the first. The Miners trail 5-0 with Paul Panachone at second, had a leadoff single. Newell was thrown out with a sacrifice bunt down the third base side. Decker was just struck out looking. And Johnny Loker at the plate. Loker in his usual spot in left field. Reached on a single in the 4th inning of the first game. First pitch is high and inside for ball 1. And Loker, also out of Stanford, has 5 home runs, 22 RBIs, 12 doubles, and 7 triples. That is Frost's stats. Oops.
Saying 5 home runs, I think he has 3.
Yeah, Panachone is off at third, and Loker hits one deep into right field. Hayes going back for it, and it is just foul. And everyone cheered for it, and then Loker has to come back. That is called foul. So Panachone heads back to second. Loker comes back to the plate with a 1-1 count.
All 3 of Johnny's home runs he's pulled it to left field, and I actually thought that was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
I thought that maybe that was gone because Hayes kind of stopped chasing it.
Well, I think he may have noticed that it was going foul, so that's why he stopped.
Yeah, but I thought he stopped because it was gone. But Loker now has to try this all again now with the 1-1 count. Panachone with a lead off of second. Forward sets. Quick look at Panachone, and here's the 1-1. Swung on and fouled back behind us. 1-2 count.
I think we forgot to mention that Tyler Stubblefield was our player of the game for game 1.
Oh, yes. If that was not obvious enough already. Stubblefield was definitely by far player of the game. 1-2 is low and outside, ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, and 2 away for Johnny Loker out at the plate. And Panachone kind of messing with Jason Ford as Ford has to step off.
Emma's going Snapchat crazy right now.
And the 2-2 pitch by Ford. Low and away, ball 3, full count for Johnny Loker.
You having fun?
I am having fun. It's a beautiful day. It's a doubleheader, 14 innings of baseball. It's a good day.
I meant Snapchats, taking pictures of me where I look like a goof.
That too. 3-2, Panachone is off, and it's a ground ball into left field. Panachone heads home, and Loker stays at first for the RBI single.
Yeah, that was hit right at where Ryan Clark was standing, but when Panachone was off with the pitch, Clark had to go and cover the bag, so he was actually out of fielding position when that ball was hit there. So very smart coaching right there from Ben Taylor with the hit and run.
Now the Miners down 5-1 with Cameron Frost at the plate. First pitch by Ford is blown away for ball 1. Frost is hitting .343, 5 home runs, 22 RBIs, 12 doubles, and 7 triples. Those are not Loker's numbers. 1-0 is right over the plate, called strike.
Frost out of Washington State. The Cougars.
Outfield playing straight away for Frost. Caruso in left, playing a little bit deeper. 1-1, breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 2.
Frost was 2 for 3, scored a run, and struck out once in game 1. It's something that I had just picked up, and I think I'm right. I'll have to double check.
1-2, Loker is off, throw down from Whelan. It's just over the head of Mildenberg, and Loker with a stolen base.
Good jump from Loker, and I think even if Whelan had gotten the throw down and it was a little lower rather than above Mildenberg's head, I think Loker would have been safe.
Oh, yeah, I think so, too. Loker got a great jump on that.
That's his second stolen base to the summer.
Ford sets, and the 2-2. Deep ball into right field. Hayes going back for it, makes the catch at the wall for out number 3. So 1 run scores on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. We head to the top of the second. The Miners trail the Panners 5-1. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Caruso set to lead things off here in the top of the second. Kyle Serrano still on the mound for the Miners. First pitch, fastball inside, called strike one. Caruso struck out against Sevi Romo in the top of the first. Then Romo ran into some problems and Serrano stepped in. 0-1 by the Tennessee Volunteer is lifted deep into left center. Coming in is Cameron Frost, makes the catch. One away. That brings up the designated hitter, Chris Polino. Polino was walked in the first inning by Romo and then was batted in by by Jacob Hayes. Hayes' 2-run home run. Polino, a junior out of University of California, Irvine, the first pitch by Serrano in there called strike one.
Around the league, the Bucks lead the Chinooks 1-0 in the top of the third.
0-1 by Serrano is inside, called strike two.
Excuse me. That game has now disappeared.
Point streak crash.
I think point streak might be down.
Swing and a miss, strike three, and a 3-pitch strikeout for Kyle Serrano. His first of the night, and that brings up Jacob Hayes. Hayes had a 2-run home run in the first inning. Batted in Chris Polino. Hayes now with 8 home runs on the season with 36 RBIs, 8 doubles, and 3 triples. Hayes, a redshirt junior out of Indiana State. Bats on the left side. First pitch by Serrano is high and outside for ball one.
Well, according to the Chinooks Twitter account, the Chinooks lead 7-2 at the end of 3.
1-0, and they're called strike one.
Well, this is what it says. It says, Chinooks sent a dozen hitters to the plate, record 9 base hits, and plate 7 runs, 7-2 fish, assuming that's the Chinooks.
Oh, of course.
A third of the way through. They're playing the Bucks. Hashtag fish on. Always fish on.
Wow. 2-1 count now for Jacob Hayes at the plate. 2 away here in the top of the second. The Miners trail 5-1. 2-1 pitch by Serrano is blown away. Ball three.
And of course, here in Palmer, the Panners lead the Miners 5-1.
3-1 pitch by Serrano. Fouled back, now full count. Had a nice salad in between games, courtesy of the Matsu Farm Bureau. They got in lettuce and all sorts of vegetables and fixins for an organic Alaskan-grown salad. 3-2 is high, ball 4. First walk by Kyle Serrano, the first base runner here in the top of the second. Brings up Tanner Pinkston. Pinkston was hit by a pitch in the first inning and scored a run off an RBI single by Hurst. It was very delicious. I didn't realize Palmer is actually kind of the agriculture center of Alaska. Did you know that?
I did not. Learn something new every day.
And also, you know, the gigantic vegetables, like world record-breaking vegetables, those come from Palmer. First pitch is high and away, ball 1.
Oh, you mean the cabbage or something?
Right,
that
the
they
cabbage
do for
and like the cucumbers.
Yeah.
That's all from Palmer. And actually, downtown there's replica statues of the world record holders from Palmer, and you can actually see the sizes. 1-0 pitch is low, ball 1, and Mitchell now the catcher keeping an eye on runner at first, Jacob Hayes. So you can actually go downtown Palmer. It's close to the Balto statue. In case Palmer wasn't kind of, cool enough, they have, along with their Balto statue, they have those gigantic vegetables. 2-0 is outside, ball 3. Little facts about Palmer.
Yeah, and a very good crowd here for game 2. It's absolutely packed on the first base side.
Yeah. Serrano sets for the 3-0. Pinkston with the open stance on the left side of the plate. 3-0 is in there, called strike 1.
5-1 Panners in the top of the second. 7-inning game.
Runner goes at first, high ball 4. That moves Hayes to second and Pinkston to first. 2 walks in a row by Kyle Serrano. That brings up Cody Nolf, the shortstop. Nolf had a double in the first and scored a run. Nolf was at shortstop in game 1. Went 0 for 3 with a line out and 2 strikeouts. The hand of Tyler Stubblefield. And also, the little thing about Palmer right now, the snow on the mountains, especially at Pioneer Peak, kind of starting to melt away.
I have noticed that.
First pitch to Nolf is a little high ball 1.
I don't have any as many Instagram opportunities anymore.
Well, you did kind of point out that there was a lot of snow in this one area.
Yeah, and it was a glacier.
And it was actually a glacier.
Oh, well.
But that's kind of cool. You can see a glacier from Palmer. 1-0 pitch in there called strike 1 by Serrano.
And, anything ice or snow related, I am certainly a fan of.
Yes.
From the Northeast, go to
I'm
school in
not.
central New York. Lake effect, snow, and wind, and you can get down to like -20.
We had that problem in Missouri. 1-1. Called strike 2. I did not go to class that day.
Oh, see, no. We go to class.
That's why I don't plan on living anywhere for the winter, anywhere north of Columbia, Missouri.
And if it snows, we usually have class because they have all this equipment to take care of it because it's coming.
That's one thing which I did not realize until I got to Mizzou. 1-2, breaking ball, swung on and missed, dropped third strike. Now throws down to first, and that retires the side. And as we head to the bottom of the second, the Miners trail the Painters 5-1. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Bottom of the second, Blazer at the plate. First pitch by Chasen Ford, a little high for ball 1. Blazer was a pinch hitter in the first game. 1-0 is outside for ball 2. Came in for Hunter Simmons. That was in the 6th inning. 2-0 pitch by Ford. In there, called strike 1. Blazer out of Cal State Northridge. 278 average with 12 RBIs and 3 doubles. 2-1 over the head of Blazer and caught by Whelan, but that was a close call and good reflexes for Blazer to duck and get out of the way of that one.
Yeah, he's a pretty quick kid.
3-1, swung on and fouled back. Full count now for Blazer.
Miners are off tomorrow.
They are. 3-2 by Ford. Another fouled ball down the first base side.
What are your plans for your off?
Second to last off day now.
Second to last off day now. They're off on the 28th before the top of the World Series.
3-2 is lined into right field. Hayes takes about 2 steps back and makes the catch for out number 1. It's either fishing or hiking because I still, on my to-do list, still to catch a salmon, preferably a king salmon because those are gigantic, and also climb Lazy Mountain.
Well, how are you going to go fishing? Other than on a boat.
Well, the players, they have places they go fishing and stuff. I'll find out where to, catch a salmon.
We should look into that after the game.
Probably, yeah. I bet some of them are going fishing tomorrow.
Probably. I have class. 3 hours. No big deal.
Yep, I don't.
Yeah, I finished a paper, too.
Terrence Conley at the plate. First pitch by Ford, a little low. Ball 1. Yeah, so those are my plans as of now.
It's been a tough but very enjoyable summer so far.
I'm not ready to leave.
For me.
1-0 is swung on and ground ball to the second baseman, Mildenberg. Quick throw to first to Pinkston, and that's 2 away.
Well, you leave, let's see, today is Tuesday. You leave August 1st in the afternoon?
Yes. I get home at 5:30 a.m. August 2nd.
I leave August 1st at 2:40 in the morning.
Yeah, no.
Alaska problems.
Yeah. Apparently, Alaska Airlines or Alaska flights, they only fly in the middle of the night. First pitch to now, and they're called strike.
The bright side, it'll be bright when I leave.
I know. I'm not excited about darkness again.
Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait.
0-1 to now is outside, ball 1. I'm a little nervous about the darkness. I've loved the sun staying up all night. I think it's really cool. 1-1 pitch to Mitchell now is fouled off. I don't know. It's going to be an adjustment, not only to the darkness, but also to the sweltering heat of Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, I can't wait for the humidity of Boston.
I'm going to step out of the airport and melt. 1-2 is inside, ball 2. But, I guess I'm a little excited to go home, but I do really love Alaska. 2-2 pitch by Ford. Line drive into right field. Chasing it is Hayes. Hayes makes the catch in foul territory, and it's 3 up, 3 down inning for the Alaska Goldpanners of Fairbanks. No runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base as we head to the top of the 3rd. You are listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Five-one Panners. We start the 3rd inning here at Herman Brothers Field. I'm Austin Pollock with Emma Tiedemann, Scott Hurst, Mike Whelan, and Tyler Mildenberg to start things off against the righty out of Tennessee, Kyle Serrano. Hurst singled and scored in the 1st. Singled on the single by Tyler Mildenberg. First pitch from Serrano. Fastball high, ball 1. Rogers, the third baseman, he's in on the grass. Outfield is straight away. Loker a little shallow and left. 1-0. Swing lifted left side. Rogers gives chase over by the Panners third base dugout and watches it go out of play. 1-1. Did not see Scott Hurst in game 1. One and one. Pitch from Serrano. Lifted left side, foul again. 1-2 on Scott Hurst. Nobody out, and a 5-1 Panners lead in the top of the third. Serrano kicks and fires the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout for Kyle Serrano. And there's now 1 down in the third. Excuse me, that's the third strikeout for Serrano.
Yeah, that's a really good start. You know, kind of show your presence on the mound, starting things off. Started with a good strikeout swinging, and just kind of keep that momentum rolling.
Here's Mike Whelan, the catcher. First pitch fastball on the outer half, but ball 1.
Whelan had an RBI single in the first inning, but was left on.
1-0. Serrano kicks, delivers. Lifted left side, that is down for a base hit. Loker picks up in foul ground. Whelan rounding first, inning to second. The throw in, it's close. The tag, he's out. Excellent throw in from Johnny Loker in left field.
That was just a rocket from Loker on the just about at the third base line, down on left field, and just perfect throw to Conley at second base.
So Whelan credited with the single, and then he's out 7-4 at second base. And here is Tyler Mildenberg. He singled in the first. Fastball, outer half in there, called strike, 0-1. 5-1 Panners, top of the third. Serrano kicks and delivers the 0-1. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike 2, 0-2. Serrano's look pretty good. 0-2 with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Low, fastball, ball 1, 1-2. Serrano worked quickly, delivers the 1-2. Outside fastball, 2-2. It is 7-2 Chinooks in the top of the fifth in Chugiak. Serrano looks into the catcher Mitchell now, glove over his face, and he kicks, and here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fourth strikeout for Kyle Serrano. Ends up being a 1-2, 3 for the righty out of Tennessee. It is no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on. We head to the bottom of the third. 5-1 Panners on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Jordan Rogers to lead things off in the bottom of the third against Chasen Ford. Kyle Serrano with 2 in the top of the third. He has 4 for Rogers. Fastball outside, ball 1. (5-1) Panners, bottom of the third. 1-0. Chopper right side, scooped by the second baseman Tyler Mildenberg, and two baseman Pinkston there away. And that'll bring up Paul Nachone. Paul singled in the first for the RBI single by Johnny Loker. Panachone out of Grand Canyon. Ball low, ball 1. Panachone hit .256 for GCU last season. 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Ford works quickly. Here's the 1-1. Chopper, left side, picked by Ryan Clark, and throws a strike across the diamond, 2 away. That'll bring up Cam Newell, the right fielder, out of UC Santa Barbara. Newell had a sacrifice bunt in the first. Ryan Clark threw him out, but it advanced Panachone to second. Newell bats from the left side against the righty, Ford. First pitch from Ford. First pitch swing, foul back, 0-1 on Newell. Good crowd here. We'll pass along the attendance when we get it. Got to be over 900.
I'm thinking more like 1,000.
It is over 900.
It is.
A 1 pitch from Ford. Fastball in there, called strike, 0-2. A lot of kids like to run in that batting tunnel. Sometimes makes me miss my childhood, just running around at a game in the summer. I love what I do, though. 0-2. Blown away, 1-2.
Plus, it'd be kind of weird to have a 21-year-old running around.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying I missed my childhood where I could run around and have fun. This is fun.
Not have fun anymore.
This is fun. No, this is fun. But 1-2. Popped up on the infield. Shortstop Cody Nulf calls for it and makes the catch. We're at number 3. 1-2, 3 for Chasen Ford. The Panners still lead 5-1 as we are through 3 on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Nine 1-2 against the right-hander at Tennessee, Kyle Serrano. It's Ryan Clark, Brandon Caruso, and Chris Paulino.
1, 2, 3 out
Clark ground into a 5-4-3 double play in the first, and the first pitch from Serrano is a chopper left side and over the bag. Rogers can't find it. It's in foul ground. Coming in is Loker, and Clark actually fell down rounding first. So that is just a single and probably what was extra bases.
Well, Clark came around first and was definitely looking over at the third base side. I think he lost track of the bag and just caught his toe and fell.
That happens.
It happens. You know, I ran into something today without even...
What you run into?
Ran into the headboard of the bed in my bedroom.
How do you do that?
I don't even know.
Here's Brandon Caruso, shows bunt. It's Rogers charging in. Can't make the play in foul ground, but certainly gave it 110% right there. I actually said Serrano charging.
Well, he was charging over there.
Well, he was,
you know.
but it was I was more focused on Rogers, who was really coming in.
They kind of look similar, too, other than Rogers'
They
glove.
look similar, and they both go to Tennessee.
Yeah.
0-1. Runner at first is off, and Caruso fouls it over by the Miners dugout. 0-2 on Caruso, who flew out to center in the second, struck out in the first. Just a 7-inning game. Stay with us for Taylor's Take and the Matsu Miners postgame show brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. 0-2. That's high and gets away from the catcher Mitchell now, and up to second is Ryan Clark. It's a pass ball, charged to Mitchell now. Caruso at the plate with a 1-2 count, nobody out. Panners lead the Miners 5-1 here in the top of the fourth. Outfield is straight away. And I'm now wondering, because I'm looking in center field, and the center fielder has high socks.
Is that Dane Wonderlic?
That's what I'm wondering. Cameron Frost doesn't wear high socks. Yeah, I think he has maybe a couple times, but 1-2. Low, 2-2.
We saw Frost in the first inning.
It might be. My binoculars are a little blurry.
Nope, that is definitely Dane Wonderlic.
Okay, then. 2-2. Fastball slapped foul, right side, still 2-2.
Yep, double checking his number and everything. That is definitely Dane.
Wondering if Frost moved at all. I don't think so. 2-2 on Caruso. In the dirt, and that gets away from Mitchell now to the backstop, and up to third is Ryan Clark. Now full count on Caruso. Caruso's spikes are a little interesting. They have looks like an orange toe, and the laces might be orange, and somewhat of a blue base, like Syracuse colors.
Does Pepperdine have orange in their colors?
3-2 up high, and that is ball four. I think they do. I think it's orange, blue, and black. I have to check.
I think so. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I'm going to check that. There is Chris Paulino.
Well, Loker is in left, Newell is in right, and Wonderlic is the only change out in the outfield, coming in for Frost.
Paulino struck out in the second. First pitch outside, ball one. Pepperdine does have orange and blue.
Alrighty. So they have some, I guess, pretty cool spikes then.
Yeah, I like them. I want a pair for myself. Think I can get a pair of those?
Sure.
Probably not.
Try out for the baseball team, Pepperdine.
Okay. 1-0. Paulino shows bunt, pulls back, and it's ball two, 2-0. You know, I think Pete and Denise are collecting those T-shirts.
Yes.
And for every player with their school, and Pete had said to me, he goes, "Where's your shirt?" 2-0. Paulino shows bump and pulls back, and now it's 3-0 with runners at the corners and nobody out in a 5-1 game in the top of the fourth. Panners lead the Miners. And I said to Pete, I said, but Syracuse doesn't have a baseball team. He goes, I don't care. Still want one.
Yeah, you got to represent your school.
3-0. That one briefly gets away from Mitchell now, but it is ball four, and now the bases are full of Alaska Goldpanners, and Ben Taylor is making his way to the mound. There is action in the bullpen with Josh Morris. I haven't seen BT signal to the bullpen, but I guess he has, and there's a new pitcher coming in. Josh Morris. Will have everything you need to know on Morris when we come back on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. New pitcher for the Miners, the right-hander Josh Morris out of Northwestern State. Night is done for Kyle Serrano. He leaves with the bases full of Panners and nobody out in the top of the fourth. Morris facing Jacob Hayes right now. Morris 6'4", 200 pounds. First pitch is a fastball in the outer half in there, called strike. Morris 1-0 with a 4.83 ERA. This is his 12th appearance. He's pitched 22 1/3 innings, and he struck out 12, giving up 21 hits, and walked 24. 0-1. Hard grounder, first base. Decker throws to Mitchell now, picks it on the backhand, and he had his foot off the plate, and the runner, Ryan Clark, is safe at home. So that is an infield single for Jacob Hayes. And now the bases are loaded, another run in for the Panners, and it's 6-1. Here is Tanner Pinkston. Walked in the second, was hit by a pitch in the first.
There are still no outs here in the top of the fourth.
Correct. 6-1 Panners, top of the fourth. Morris sets, looks at second, delivers. Fastball outside, ball one. Morris last pitched in Fairbanks. Last pitched July 18th against the Panners. Went 2 innings, no hits, no runs, 4 walks, no strikeouts. 1-0. Off speed upstairs, 2-0. Josh Morris from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He looks at second, 2-0. Fastball lifted out to deep left, going back is Loker at the track. He makes the catch. Here comes Brandon Caruso. He will score, and it's now 7-1 Panners. And that is just the first out of the inning.
Now batting shortstop number 7, Cody Noel.
And that brings up Cody Nolf. And we have the official attendance tonight. It is, Emma, what's your guess?
Well, I mean, I
Oh, no,
got
no.
the text also.
Did you read it, though?
No.
Don't read it.
Well,
No.
937.
No.
What is it?
829.
Oh.
First pitch, fastball up and in on Cody Nolf. Ball 1. Nolf 1 for 2. He struck out in the second, doubled in the first. (1-0) fouled over by the Miners clubhouse. 1-1 on Nolf out of Orange Coast College. Will attend Auburn next year. One and one. Morris looks at second and delivers. Breaking ball in there. Called strike. Great breaking ball from Morris. 1-2 on Nolf. Morris looks at second, and here's the 1-2. Off speed, check swing, little outside, 2-2. Nolf was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts in game 1 against Tyler Stubblefield. Entered game 2 hitting .339. 2-2. Lifted deep to left, but tailing foul. Johnny Loker gives chase, and it is out of play. And 2-2 on Nolf.
You know, when we were in Fairbanks, I did a pregame profile with Josh Morris.
You did, and
I did.
Wasn't that when they were all the bugs were flying around? And
Yes, and I got bit by a mosquito on my face. So, and it was a great, learned a lot about Josh Morris from Louisiana. Talked about his facial hair and how it has grown over the summer.
I like it. 2-2. Nolf stays live, fouls it left side over by the Panners dugout. I like it.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen a lot of guys through, just about every team on the ABL grow out, see these big beards and stuff like that. And
I may try something.
you only have like a week and a half left.
I know.
Do a playoff beard?
No. 2-2. Breaking ball, and I guess it was a little high. It looked pretty good. Now it's a full count. Miners off tomorrow. At the Bucks on Thursday, 7 o'clock. Morris sets with a 3-2 count. Here's the pitch. Fastball, foul right back. 3-2 still. Can you see how hard Cody Nolf swings that bat?
Very hard.
It's almost like he doesn't even set up. It's more just throws it right out there.
Well, that one pitch, swung at this last foul ball. It was high and inside, but he swung at it anyway.
3-2. Fouled back again, still 3-2. He stands very close to the plate, so I think that's obviously he's certainly very comfortable with that. But I think that's part of his success and how he, of course, right now he's hit 5 foul balls in this at bat. So when he swings, he really gets the entire bat just to make some sort of contact, whether it's a hit or whether it's foul. 1 out, runners at first and second. Hayes on first, Paulino on second. 3-2. High fly ball deep left. Rogers gives chase in foul ground, and it is out of play.
6 foul balls now for Nolf.
This has been a 10-pitch at bat. (7-1) Panners. Top of the 4th. 5 runs in the first, 2 here in the 4th. 1 away and a 3-2 count on Cody Nolf. Here's the pitch. Check swing, and that's foul. And we will see an 11th pitch. Excuse me, a 12th pitch. Still 3-2 on Nulf. Today was our second to last interview with Ben Taylor and Taylor's Take, our weekly interview with BT. You can check that out on our YouTube page, as well as our player of the game, Mitchell Now. Emma did a nice interview with Mitchell. 3-2 from Morris. Called strike 3. What a battle for Josh Morris.
Kept right there with Cody Nolf, and it was back and forth. It's one of those, head game situations. Who's going to, pitch the better pitcher? Who's going to hit? And Josh Morris won that one.
That is the first strikeout for Morris, and now there's 2 down, and here's Scott Hurst. Hurst 1 for 2. Single in the first, struck out in the third. First pitch from Morris. Fastball outside, ball 1. Is that 11, 12 pitches? 11. 12? 11. 11. 1-0 fastball outside, 2-0.
This is why we broadcast. We don't do math.
No. It's very common in Syracuse that we say, or are you in Newhouse? Yeah, you're probably not a good student, not a good math student.
I'm a terrible science student also. I put off my lab science until senior year.
Same.
Oh, well, I get to meet, all sorts of freshmen, meet all the new kids. Taking Geology 1100 in the fall.
2-0. Lifted left side, foul again, 2-1 on Scott Hurst. Put your science class out your lab until senior year. I guess
yes.
I feel a little bit better about myself. I waited until the summer semester going into my senior year, but I haven't taken math yet.
I'm taking a science class in the fall and statistics 1100 in the spring.
2-1 fastball, a little bit low, 3-1 on Hurst. I started with a lab science last fall, and I get there, and one thing I do at Syracuse is I'm a peer advisor, so I get about 5 or 6 incoming freshmen and sort of help them get adjusted to the academic life of college. 3-1 low, and that is ball 4, and it gets away from Mitchell now, but all runners just move up one base. Paulino to third, Hayes to second, and now Hurst is on first. And here is Mike Whelan. So I work with a couple students, with about 5 or 6. This year I have 5. And last year I had 5 as well, and I walk into this earth science class, and here hi Austin, and I look, and it's one of my students, an incoming freshman, and I'm a junior, and I'm like, I don't know if I can stay here. So I'm going to decide to do it this summer.
With a bunch of Alaskans.
First pitch, breaking ball in the outer half for a called strike, 0-1. Yes. Wheeland is 2 for 2, a pair of singles. 1 in the first, 1 in the third. Now bats with the bases loaded, and 2 away. Pitch from Morris. Popped up, shallow third base side in foul territory. Rogers makes the catch for out number 3. 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors, 3 men left on. The Panners do get 2. They lead it 7-1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Bottom of the fourth, Matthew Decker, Johnny Loker, and Cameron Frost against the righty Chasen Ford. Decker 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the first. Ford kicks and delivers his first pitch to Decker. It swung on and fouled straight back 0-1 on the first baseman from Stanford. You look a little confused, Emma.
No, I'm looking at something over to your left.
There's a lot over here.
I know.
0-1, off speed in there, called strike on the outer half, 0-2. Oh and 2. Here's the pitch. Poked out and leaping is the first baseman Tanner Pinkston and reels it in for out number 1. That was a soft liner to the right side, just to Pinkston's right toward the second base bag. Now there's one away. That brings up Johnny Loker. He singled in the first. Pilots fell 4-1 to the Oilers this afternoon down in Kenai. Pitch from Ford to Loker is low and under Mike Whelan and gets behind to the edge of the dirt and the grass in the batter's circle. 1-0 on Loker. Seems like there's more fans here than 829.
I know.
1-0 is off speed and low, 2-0.
Especially when I was getting my Alaskan grown salad between games. I feel like there were a lot of people here.
Fastball low and away. Ball 3 on Loker. 1 for 17 for Stanford this past season. Appeared in 39 games. 3-0 from Ford. Fastball in there called strike, 3-1. Three and 1 on Loker. Here's the pitch. Fastball in the outer half. That's a called strike, 3-2. Jason Ford from Yale. 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout for Jason Ford. Now there's 2 down in the bottom of the fourth. That brings up Dane Wunderlich.
Number 9, Dane Wunderlich.
Wunderlich replaced Cameron Frost, who flew out to right in the first. First pitch to Wunderlich is a fastball outside for ball 1. Wunderlich out of Rice and Brenham, Texas?
Yes.
Home of something.
Bluebell ice cream.
Okay. Second pitch is low. Fastball 2-0 on Wunderlich. Should send me some when I get home.
I'd eat it.
Okay. 2-0. Fastball fouled right back toward the concession stand, which is just behind us. 2-1 on Wunderlich.
We'll see. I don't know how you really ship ice cream other than like dry ice maybe.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
In Alaska, you can ship fish.
Oh, through the UPS store.
2-1, swing and a miss. That is strike 2, 2-2. Now you can. We went there, what, like the first week you got here, and there was just a big blue sign outside that said, "We ship fish." 2-2. Fouled off to the right over by the clubhouse. Still 2-2.
Yeah, they do ship fish. Maybe if I went to Brenham, the UPS store in Brenham would ship Bluebell.
Maybe. 2-2 to Wunderlich. High fly ball out to deep right. Going back is Hayes. He is under it and makes the catch for out number 3. 1-2-3-4. Jason Ford. It's still 7-1 Panners. We are through 4 on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Top of the 5th inning, I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock, and new pitcher on the mound, that is Hunter Rodriguez out of Utah. Rodriguez will face Tyler Mildenberg, Ryan Clark, and Brandon Caruso. Takes a deep breath before he steps on the mound.
Rodriguez from Phoenix, Arizona, 2-0, the 1.31 ERA.
Lefty versus lefty. First pitch is in there, called strike one. Mildenberg had an RBI single in the first inning, then struck out swinging in the third against Kyle Serrano. 0-1 by Rodriguez is outside ball one. Mildenberg, a freshman out of Oregon State University. Bats left, throws right. Hometown is Huntington Beach, California. Open stance. Here's the 1-1. Outside for ball two.
Rodriguez last pitched on the 19th against the Bucks. Got the win, went an inning, gave up 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout.
1-2 count for Mildenberg. Swung on and ground ball into center field for a leadoff single.
You know, early on in the summer, we saw Rodriguez just pounding that strike zone and striking guys out, but in his last, I would say, 4 outings, hasn't been as sharp. He's still getting the job done, but 3 strikeouts in his last 2 2/3, which is that's still good. He's getting the job done. He's helping this team win, but it's just it's not where it was early on.
Brings up the right-handed batter, Ryan Clark. First pitch, swing, and fouled on the first base side. Clark 1 for 2, part of a 5-4-3 double play in the first. Then had a single in the fourth. Moved to second on a pass ball, to third on a pass ball, then scored a run. The sacrifice fly ball by Tanner Pinkston. Throw to first. And Mildenberg is safe. And that is Hunter Simmons.
I was just going to say another
at first base. So his Utah teammate at first.
Trying to figure out if there are any other changes.
There aren't any other changes
that we know of.
Well, I don't see anyone else.
No, neither do I. Connolly's at second. Panachone at short. Rogers at third. Mitchell behind the plate. I think that's Newell in right. Wunderlich in center. Loker in left. Rodriguez on the mound.
1-1. Lined past the diving glove of Terrence Conley into right center field. And Mildenberg rounds second, heads into third. And Ryan Clark with the single.
You know, just hats off to Terrence Connolly right there. Gave it his all, but that ball hit very hard and just a little to his right. I wouldn't be surprised if that even just skimmed a little bit right off his glove.
That brings up Brandon Caruso, the leadoff batter for the Panners. Caruso has struck out and flew out to center field in the second inning, then walked and scored a run in the fourth. Check throw at first, and Clark is safe.
No batting gloves for Caruso.
Rodriguez sets. First pitch to Caruso. Swung on, ground ball back to Rodriguez at the mound. Throw to now, and trying to throw down Mildenberg between third. Tags him out, but Clark moves all the way to third base, and Caruso to second. So Mildenberg is out. Let's see, 1, 2, 5. Clark is at third, and Caruso at second. Clark and Caruso moved while now Rodriguez and Rogers were chasing down Mildenberg. So that is now 1 away with Chris Polino at the plate. He's been walked twice and struck out once. The lefty. Pitch by Rodriguez is blown away, ball 1. Polino, a junior out of University of California, Irvine. 1-0, a little outside for ball 2. Two-0 count for Chris Polino. A little bit low for ball 3.
Infield in now. Panachone and Connolly in the middle infield, and Rogers at third. Not quite on the grass, just foot behind it.
3-0. Outside, but called strike 1. Outfield playing straight away, but like Austin said, infield playing in. 3-1. Swung on and lined into center field. Wunderlich takes a couple steps back, makes the catch. Runners tag up, and Ryan Clark scores a run. Caruso stays at second. So that is 2 away with 1 runner on. And Jacob Hayes at the plate. Hayes hit a 2-run home run in the first inning, was walked in the second, then had a single in the fourth. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch, high and away, ball 1.
Now 8-1 Panners in the top of the 5th.
Brandon Caruso at second base, reached on a fielder's choice. 1-0 is in there, called strike 1.
Lefty-lefty matchup, too.
1-1 pitch by Rodriguez is blown away. Ball 2. Hayes with 8 home runs, 36 RBIs, 8 doubles, and 3 triples.
Emma, did you hear about the Yankee game? The Rangers Yankee game?
Have they finished? 2-1 is blown away, ball 3.
Yes.
Actually, strike 2. What inning did they? Just tell me. Just
In the 14th.
they're in the 14th.
No, it's over.
What's the score? The Rangers were leading.
Well, they lost.
Oh no! Line into right field, and that is foul.
Chase Headley, who the Yankees recently acquired, had a walk-off single.
Oh my! Walk-off single.
It's like reminds me of Johnny Loker's first game, where that was a walk-off grand slam.
That's a little different.
A little bit of a bigger hit, but
So was the score 2-1 or something?
yes.
The 14th. They were scoreless through 9, mind you. The Rangers scored their first run in the 13th.
You don't have to tell me.
2-2 pitch. Foul. It's been a rough season for my team.
For you? Really?
For the Rangers. My team.
The Red Sox. They're
No, you can't tell me that when the Rangers are the worst
champions.
team in the MLB right now.
Uh,
Yeah. That happened this season. I'm still a loyal fan, though. 2-2. Swung on and lifted deep into center field. Wonderlic takes a few steps back, now to his left, and makes the catch for the third out. 1 run scores on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. So we head to the bottom of the 5th. The Miners trail the Painters 8-1. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Now, let's give away some money. Take out your 50-50 blue tickets. Blue 50-50 tickets. The winner gets to take home on this beautiful night of baseball $243. Here's that winning number. 299688.
Here's on you!
And leading things off for the Miners. Number 4,
Nick Blazer set to start things off here in the bottom of the 5th. The Miners trail 8-1 behind the Alaska Goldpanners of Fairbanks. Blazer 0 for 1 at the flyout in the 2nd inning. First pitch lifted foul for strike 1. Blazer out of Cal State Northridge has 12 RBIs and 3 doubles.
the winner of the 50-50 was certainly very happy to win it.
Yes. 0-1, and they're called strike 2.
What was that? Well, how much was it? 250 something?
Something like that. And I've always been surprised whenever they announce the numbers that the winner doesn't yell like that. That's what I would do.
That was loud.
0-2, another foul ball for Blazer.
You probably heard him on the crowd mic.
Yeah, I mean, you win cash. You get cash money off of that.
Well,
Why aren't you more excited?
I mean, if it's a small crowd, you might. There are times where you win less than $100, but that was a lot of money.
0-2, another foul ball. 3 in a row.
That's for me. That's like half a month's rent.
I know. That's why I'd be going nuts.
College student problems.
The 0-2 is swung on and ground ball to the second baseman. Mildenberg throws to Pinkston at first, and that's first out. Brings up Terrence Conley. The second baseman grounded out to second base in the 2nd inning. Has 12 RBIs, 4 doubles, and 1 triple. Triple he hit yesterday, scoring in 3 runs against the Chinooks. Conley hitting .313. Open stance. Here's the first pitch by Ford is inside ball 1.
Terrence, another one of those guys where it seems like nothing really tends to bother him if the team loses or if he doesn't have a good game. He just sort of shakes it off.
1-0 in there called strike one.
I think he's one of those big believers in, you know what, tomorrow's another day. Forget about
Definitely.
today and move on.
Definitely like the baseball mindset, I think. 1-1. Little low ball two. Conley out of UNC Wilmington. Hometown it's Garden City, New York, right? On Long
Yes.
Island.
Yes.
2-1 inside ball three.
Does your home, I assume you don't, do you live like in Dallas or just like a suburb of Dallas?
I'm in Dallas County, but
Okay.
I guess it's kind of a suburb. 3-1. Little low, ball four, and Conley goes to take his base. I guess it would technically be a suburb, but
Right.
my favorite part of it is you're like a 10, or depending on who's driving, it's like a 15-minute drive
All right.
into downtown
Yeah,
and stuff.
you're very similar to me. I'm about 15 minutes outside of Boston, living in the suburbs. And we don't live in a town. We actually live in a city, but not. It's
Is there a difference?
it's called a city. I mean, it is a city, but it's not like
First pitch swing and a miss by Mitchell now.
it's not really like a big city with all these big buildings. It's more just
Yeah.
it's just a city. Like we have a mayor and whatever, but
I think we have a mayor.
we're actually the Garden City.
Oh.
I made that story much longer than it needed to be. I apologize.
So we are both kids of the suburbs.
Yep.
1-1, and they're called strike two.
High five. That was you just punched my hand.
I'm holding a pin. You
So
want me
am
to
I.
punch you with a pin?
No.
Ford sets and delivers the 1-2. Little outside for ball two. And actually, I forgot about this all summer until just now. I actually might be in Boston
No way.
over Thanksgiving. I've completely forgot about this.
I don't know where
I'll be there for a conference.
I'll probably be in Syracuse.
I don't know when it is. It's over Thanksgiving break. 2-2, and they're called strike three. And that is two away here in the bottom of the fifth, and the third strikeout for Chasen Ford.
Jordan Rogers.
Rogers now at the plate, 0 for 1 at the ground out. Rogers, the third baseman from University of Tennessee, which I will also most likely be going to the Mizzou at Tennessee football game in the fall. Lined into right field, and Conley heads into second. And Rogers with the 2-out single to move the base runner.
Excellent piece of hitting by Jordan Rogers to slap it the opposite way and move Connolly to second base. It's an 8-1 game, but these guys don't like to be down, and they just will keep battling and battling until the end. And Brandon Smith is on deck. So I think it's just another one of those situations with more pinch hitters, and I think this is setting a hint to the team that the Pilots lost.
And check swing called strike for Paul Panachone at the plate.
Well, I don't think we have ever seen Ben Taylor make more than maybe 2 changes in a game other than pitching. I don't think we have. And,
And the ball gets away from the catcher Whelan, and the base runners move up. Conley on third, and Rogers at second. They both advance on the wild pitch by Chasen Ford. Panachone at the plate with the 1-1 count.
I was saying something.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what you were saying. 1-1 is in there called strike two. I remember. You were saying about the substitutions
Right.
and sending a message to the
Right.
team.
Yeah, I think that we've never really seen Ben Taylor make more than 2 changes. So with Smith on deck, with in Newell's spot, Wunderlich and Decker, I think that's sending a sign that, hey, you know what? Let's just get some other guys in this lineup. Start the rest now a little bit.
be sure to ask him about it in Taylor's take following this game, too. Panachone with the 2-2 count. 2 runners on. Here's a pitch. Check swing. He went around. And that is strike 3 and the 4th strikeout of the game for Chasen Ford. As we head to the top of the 6th, no run score on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on. Miners trail the Panners 8-1. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Tanner Pinkston to lead things off in the top of the 6th against a new pitcher, Isaiah Terrazas. First pitch is a strike. Second pitch is swung on and missed for a strike, 0-2. Terrazas out of Golden West Community College. Tanner Pinkston, the first baseman from Cal State Fullerton. 0-2. Chopper behind the mound and into center, a base hit for Pinkston. Third time he's been on. He was hit by a pitch in the first. He walked in the second. And that will bring up Cody Nolf, the shortstop. Defensive changes now for the Miners. We had mentioned that Hunter Simmons is at first base. In center field, it is Dane Wunderlich. And in right field, Brandon Smith.
Yes.
Fly ball to right center. Wunderlich and Smith. It's Smith who comes in and makes the catch in shallow right center. 1 away. Bring up Scott Hurst. 1 for 2. Scored a run and an RBI. Scored that run in the first inning. He singled and scored on the single by Tyler Mildenberg. First pitch from Terrazas is a fastball high for ball 1. Terrazas from Buena Park, California, 1-1 with a 3.21 ERA. He's appeared in 10 games, pitched in 14 innings. Pitch roped out to deep right center. Going back is Wunderlich and Smith. And that is caught by Dane Wunderlich in right center. What a catch. Tanner Pinkston, who was at first base, was about a third of the way between that second and third base bag. Had just rounded second when he found out that Wunderlich had caught that in deep right center, and for a second I thought that was gone.
I did too. It definitely had a lot of power behind it, and great job by Wunderlich sprinting out there. And usually we see Frost out in center field because of his speed, and Wunderlich just showed off that he has some wheels of his own.
Pinkston does get back to first.
He does.
And now there's 2 outs. And here is Mike Whelan. First pitch is a called strike. Terrazas last pitch July 19th against the Bucks. No decision, win an inning. Gave up a hit, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Faced 4 batters. 0-1. Off speed outside, 1-1. Sun is shining very, very bright here in Palmer.
Such a beautiful day.
See, I try to look to my right, and I can't. 1-1. High fly ball to deep right. Smith going back as is Wunderlich. And Wunderlich makes another fantastic catch. Dane Wunderlich showing off his speed in right center. So after a leadoff single for Tanner Pinkston, Isaiah Terrazas and Dane Wunderlich set down the Panners 1, 2, and 3. And it's no runs on one hit, no errors, and one man left on. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Time to rally in the valley. Remember, a 7-inning game. 8-1 Panners on Matsu Miners Radio Network. Right fielder Brandon Smith to lead things off in the bottom of the 6th. Time to get a rally going. It'll be Smith, Simmons, and Loker. I think I've got that right. Smith stands in with the high green socks in the right-hander's batter's box. First pitch from chasing forward is swung on a miss for strike 1.
Boy, Brandon, get your cut.
8-1 Panners, bottom of the 6th. Here's the 0-1 from Ford. Off speed on the outer half, a called strike, 0-2. Now, Brandon Smith the other day at the All-Star game, if you missed it, was dressed, and I mean like 100%, was a scout. He had me for a second. 0-2. Fouled off to the right over by the bullpen. Heads up Josh Meyer.
Yeah, he had a Dodgers hat on, his Oakley sunglasses, white button-up, his radar gun, and a clipboard.
The clipboard is what got it, I think. 0-2. Sent out to deep right. Going out is Jacob Hayes. And makes the catch over his shoulder for out number 1. And we have seen, what now, back-to-back-to-back. Pretty good plays in the outfield.
Yeah, you know, these are two very talented teams, and you gotta, you know, Dane Wunderlich out there in center field, a position we don't really see him in. See him in the outfield, but not really ever in center. That's usually reserved for Cameron Frost, but really showing his stuff tonight.
So here is Hunter Simmons, his first at-bat, and he swings the first pitch and fouls it to the right side out of play.
Done.
A 1 off speed in there, a called strike, 0-2. 8-1 Panners, bottom of the 6th. 7-inning game, 0-2. Fastball outside, ball 1, 1-2. Ford looks in, kicks, and delivers the 1-2 to Simmons. Chopper, right side, second baseman. Mildenberg takes on a hop, but it goes over his glove into right. That'll be ruled an error. on the second baseman Mildenberg, and now Simmons is on. And that brings up Johnny Loker.
Now batting in left field, number 12, Johnny Loker.
The Chinooks have a 10-3 lead on the Bucks in the bottom of the 8th.
Whoa.
Yeah, going into yesterday's game, the Chinooks had won 5 straight. The Miners beat them 12-1, and they're just sort of picking things off again.
So I said, yesterday and today, you can't count those Chinooks out.
No. First pitch to Loker is lined over the head of Ben Taylor at third base. 0-1.
I don't know if there's like a correct phrase for what the Chinooks could be right now, the kind of team, but maybe what you could call an elimination team. They could cut someone out from winning the division.
0-1. Off speed, look at the slider outside. And it's 1-1 on Loker out of Stanford.
They could prevent the Bucks from catching up to the Panthers and could prevent the Bucks from clinching the American League title. Of course, the National is now
1-1. Lined into left for a base hit. Runners at first and second with 1 out, and here comes Dane Wunderlich. He's already made 2 great catches in the outfield. Now let's see if he can do something with the bat. That's Johnny's second hit. He's 2 for 3. He struck out in the 4th. And Wunderlich is 0 for 1. He flew out to right in the 4th. Eight 1 Panthers, bottom of the 6th. Pitching coach Ken Hokev making his way back to the Panthers dugout. He had briefly met on the mound with Jason Ford and the catcher Mike Wheeland. There's 1 out with runners at first and second. Loker on first, Simmons on second, and Wunderlich the batter. A very brief Let's Go Miners chant. 1 out. This team doesn't like to be down.
They do not.
They will fight until the end. Wunderlich out of Rice. Ford looks in and sets. Here's the pitch. Foul that home plate. Puts Wheeland on his rear end.
His rear?
His rear rather than his bum, which we had said. I had said.
You said.
I had said. Ben Taylor now talking with Dane Wunderlich between home and third base. Runners at first and second with 1 out and an 0-1 count. Oh and 1 with 1 out and an 8-1 Panthers lead in the bottom of the 6th. Ford sets, kicks, fires the 0-1 in the dirt, scooped by Wheeland. 2-1. Excuse me, 1-1. One. Ground ball, scoop by Nope, but he can't field it cleanly, and everybody's safe. I don't know. I think that's an error as well on Cody Nope. It looked like a pretty routine ground ball. Maybe got to go to his right a little bit, and that is an error charged to Cody Nope. So now Loker to second, and Simmons on third with Wunderlich on first, and here comes Nick Blazer with 1 out. And it seems like the Miners really get into it when the crowd gets a little noisy.
Right, that home field advantage, that is nothing to mess around with.
First pitch from Ford is taken for a strike.
Blazer, maybe we won't expect to see a grand slam off of Blazer here, but he's a really big gap-to-gap guy hitting those Texas Leaguers right over the infield and moving those base runners.
Really, Texas Leaguers?
Texas Leaguer, that is actually a vocabulary word.
0-1 pitch off speed low, 1-1. Action in the Panthers bullpen. Hard to see who it is. 1-1, 1 out. Bases full of Miners. 1-1 to Blazer. Popped up on the infield and drifting out to right center. The second baseman Tyler Mildenberg takes care of it. 2 away. And that'll bring up Terrence Connolly. Probably the hottest bat in the Miners lineup right now. Terrence out of UNC Wilmington. He walked in the fifth, grounded out to second in the second. But he had that lone RBI, the double in game one that gave the Miners their only run. First pitch to Connolly. Taken on the outer half for a called strike. Oh and 1, 2 outs. Connolly at the plate, and the bases loaded. Mitchell now on deck. Crowd still standing here. 0-1 to Connolly. Low, 1-1, off speed. Game one was 1 hour and 49 minutes. One and 1. On the inner half of the fastball, called strike 1 and 2. Fans behind home plate don't like the call. One and 2. 2 outs, bases full of Miners, and an 8-1 lead for the Panners in the bottom of the sixth. Ford sets. Here's the pitch. Chopper, first base side, picked by Pinkston, flips to Ford and steps on the bag for out number 3. It's no runs on 1 hit, 2 errors, and 3 men left on. We head to the 7th, 8-1 Panners on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
New pitcher on the mound here in the top of the 7th inning. I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock. Matt Decker out of Incarnate Word on the mound now for the Miners. Hometown is Hickory Creek, Texas. First pitch to the batter, Tyler Mildenberg, line drive into right field, and Brandon Smith with a great catch. Actually kind of caught that bending over and caught it at his ankles.
This is
On
just
the
like
run.
an outfield show. This is Hurst and Whelan flew out to the center fielder Wonderlick, and he made 2 great catches. And now Mildenberg flies out to right, and Smith makes a great catch.
That brings up Ryan Clark, the third baseman. Has scored 2 runs off of 2 singles. First pitch by Decker in there, called strike 1. Decker pitched yesterday against the Chinooks. Went an inning, gave up 1 hit and 1 run. 0-1 is fouled off. Decker didn't walk anyone or strike out anyone.
Around the ABL, the Chinooks are on top of the Bucks, 10-3 in the top of the 9th. And down in Kenai, the Pilots have a 2-1 lead on the Oilers in the top of the 6th.
After losing the first game.
Correct.
0-2 breaking ball, swung on ground ball to the first baseman, Hunter Simmons. And it's an unassisted ground out. That is the second out of the game, of the inning. Back to the top of the order with Brandon Caruso. Struck out, had a fly out, was walked and scored in the 4th, and reached on a fielder's choice in the 5th. First pitch by Decker. Swung on ground ball, gets past the glove of a diving Hunter Simmons, the first baseman, and into right field for a 2-out single.
First hit of the night for Caruso.
Brings up Chris Polino, the designated hitter. Has been walked twice, struck out.
Got a pinch hitter, Scooter Bynum.
Pinch ran in the first game.
Yes, he did.
First pitch, swing and a miss by Scooter. Bynum, a high school senior out of Monroe Catholic Prep. Bats left, throws right. Hometown is Fairbanks, Alaska. 0-1 by Matt Decker. Swung on ground ball to the shortstop. Panachone not able to field it. And Caruso rounds second and heads into third. And Bynum able to reach first. The official scoring on that is going to be an E6 on the shortstop, Paul Panachone. That brings up Jacob Hayes. Hayes had a 2-run home run in the first inning, was walked in the second, had a single in the 4th, and then had a fly out in the 5th. Hayes bats on the left side, lefty versus lefty matchup. First pitch, breaking ball in there, a little outside for ball 1. Crowd kind of disagreeing with that one.
You know, we had mentioned that in the first game that Scooter Bynum on first base has 3 steals on the summer.
1-0 is high for ball 2. Decker sets and delivers the 2-0. Fouled off. 2 balls, 1 strike now for Jacob Hayes at the plate. Caruso on third, Bynum on first. 2-1 count for Hayes and 2 away here in the top of the 7th.
Miners off tomorrow.
Decker sets and delivers the 2-1. Swung on ground ball into right field again. And that is going to score Caruso and Polino, and Bynum to second. That's an RBI single for Jacob Hayes. That brings up Tanner Pinkston, the first baseman. 1 for 1 with a single in the 6th. Hit by a pitch in the first, walked in the second, had a sac fly in the 4th. First pitch by Decker is high and outside, ball 1.
See the Panners bus parked out in right and left center.
Pinkston swings and fouls it back the third base side. Count now 1-1 with 2 outs and Scooter Bynum on second and Jacob Hayes on first. He reached on an RBI single. Score now 9-1. The Panners leading the Miners. First, the Miners took the first game 1-0. 1-1 pitch, high, ball 2. Pinkston with 3 home runs, 26 RBIs, 6 doubles, 1 triple. Rests the bat on his left shoulder. And the 2-1 from Decker, breaking ball high. 3-1 count now for Pinkston.
Josh Meyer and Matthew Decker are both wearing catcher's gear in the bullpen, and they've both been on one knee for maybe 2 innings.
Really?
I think it's been about an inning. Yeah, probably 2 innings.
3-1 is swung on and fouled down the third base side. Now full count for Pinkston. They like haven't gotten up between innings either.
I mean, they may have, but I remember looking there probably at around the top of the 6th, and they were sitting there.
Huh. They're just hanging out. Full count now for Pinkston. Pitch by Decker is lined into center field. And that gets down for a base hit. Bynum rounds third and scores the 10th run of the game for the Panners. Now runners on the corners with Hayes at third and Pinkston at first after his RBI single.
Now batting shortstop number 7, Cody Knowles.
So now the Panners are leading 10-1 here in the top of the 7th. And Cody Nolf at the plate. Nolf had a double in the first. First pitch by Decker, a little high, ball 1. Nolf then struck out twice and had a fly out. 1 for 4. Hitting .339. 1-0. Ground ball down the third base side. Picked up by Rogers. Throw to first. And that is the third out here in the top of the 7th with a 5-3 put out. But 2 runs score on 3 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on. Time to rally in the valley as we head to the bottom of the 7th. The Miners trail the Panners 10-1. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Torgan Soderland on the mound now for the Alaska Goldpanners of Fairbanks. Jason Ford's night is done through 6 innings pitched. Gave up only 1 run and 3 hits. Excuse me, 4 hits. First pitch to Mitchell, now the catcher. Swung on and ground ball to the second baseman and flips to Pinkston at first base for the first out, 4-3. That brings up third baseman Jordan Rogers. Rogers 1 for 2 with a ground out and a single was left on base. Steps into the batter's box. First pitch by Soderland is in there, called strike 1.
If I'm remembering correctly, Soderland's local.
He is.
Fairbanks, Alaska, from Gateway Community College, 6'1", 180 pounds.
Over the head of Rogers. Rogers ducks. That's ball 1. Rogers steps back into the box. Sets. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Outfield playing straight away for Rogers with a seagull circling center field.
Soderlund is 2-0 with a 3.60 ERA. Walked 8 in 20 innings.
1-2 pitch is lifted high in the infield, and that is second baseman Mildenberg calling for it, coming in, and makes the catch for the second out. Back to the top of the order now with Paul Panachone. Panachone 1 for 3 and has scored the only run for the Miners thus far. Two outs here in the bottom of the seventh. The Miners trailed 10-1. This is only a 7-inning game. First pitch to Panachone, a little high, ball one. There will be extra innings, of course, if needed. But regulation is 7 innings. Painters have 10 runs on 14 hits and 2 errors. Miners 1 run on 4 hits, 1 error, and Panachone fouls it back for strike 1. Panachone hitting .280, 13 RBIs, 11 doubles, 1 triple. Outfield straight away. So is the infield. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Lined over the infield, gets down for a base hit into right center field. And the first base runner of the game here in the 7th inning. Excuse me, first base runner of the 7th inning. That brings up Panachone's teammate, their school, Grand Canyon, Brandon Smith.
P&B.
P&B.
Well,
but Jay's in the bullpen.
Jay's in the bullpen, still
kneeling.
talking with Matthew Decker.
Why, that would hurt my knee. Why are
They're
they
catchers.
doing that?
They're catchers.
Oof. Smith at the plate. Swing and a foul ball for strike 1.
Yeah, that hit right there for Panachone, that's a confidence booster for him. We've talked about it. He's been in a little bit of a slump lately, but that's going to bring him right out of it and just help the Miners keep winning games to have that win percentage as high as it can be by the time the World Series comes.
Be sure to give us your Player of the Game nominations also.
Oh, yes.
0-1, little low ball 1.
Tweet at us at ABL Miners. Send us an email, matsuminersbroadcast@gmail.com, or comment on the live feed below.
Of course, Player of the Game in the first game, Tyler Stubblefield. Soderlund sets for the 1-1 and delivers it low and away, ball 2. Two balls, 1 strike to Smith. Swung on and fouled back for strike 2. Smith steps back into the batter's box. Soderlund looks into his catcher, Wieland.
I think Tyler Stubblefield might be behind home plate.
I'd assume so. 2-2 is outside now. Full count for Brandon Smith. And 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. The Miners trailed 10-1 with Paul Panachone at first base. Panachone is off, and it is blown away for ball 4. Second base runner here in the bottom of the 7th. And Hunter Simmons heading to the plate.
Don't count the Miners out with 2 outs in the last inning. That's a big no-no. I'm just trying to figure out her player of the game.
No, I'm not. I'm giving you situations.
I agree.
Oh, that's your player of the game
I
location?
agree, yeah.
First pitch in there called strike. Let me look at this here.
Simmons stands in with an open stance. Runners at first and second with 2 away and an 0-1 count on Simmons. You ready?
Oh, I'm always ready. 0-1 in there called strike 2.
10-1. The Panthers lead the Miners in the bottom of the 7th. Miners won game 1, 1-0. Not a lot of offense, but it was enough.
It was enough.
It's enough.
In there called strike 3, and that is it. The Miners fall to the Panthers in game 2, 10-1. And we will quickly step aside. Again, the final score here in Palmer, 10-1. The Panthers beat the Miners in game 2 of the doubleheader. Step aside and bring you the player of the game and Taylor's take right after this.
All right, back here on the Matsu Miners post-game show brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. A win in game 1. They win 1-0, but not a lot of offense tonight. But, of course, that 1-0 win in game 1, that's all the offense they really needed just behind just excellent pitch.
Definitely, Tyler Stubblefield pitched a complete game, gave up 4 hits, 11 strikeouts, but no runs and no walks. Just an outstanding performance by the Texas A&M Aggie.
Yeah, and I think the offense, Terrence Connolly with that RBI double, that's all they needed. And the one I think that I'm thinking about is the last time they played a doubleheader. That was against they played one against the Pilots, but they played one on the 29th of June against the Oilers, and then went on a little bit of a losing streak. So part of me thinks, what happens now? I mean, there was really not a lot of offense, but I think when they realize what's ahead and that they've got two more games, at least two more, once that regular season comes to an end, you have to think that there's going to be there's a little confidence coming, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And, they clinched the National Division title tonight, so it might be a little bit different than the last doubleheader.
And Sevi Romo, he got the start in the first inning, didn't make it out of the first inning, so he was certainly a little shaky, and his start was not as what we've really seen lately of Sevi. And we're going to step aside right now and bring in our player of the game. We will be right back on the Matsu Miners post-game show, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. All right, there is your player of the game, Johnny Loker. Johnny, it seems like things you were in a little bit of a slump before the All-Star break with a lot of strikeouts, but it seems like you've sort of adjusted that swing and things seem to be going better for you right now.
Yeah. It's just a matter of trying to slow things down and really just competing at the plate. Been seeing the ball well, and just trying to have good quality like team at bats.
2 for 3 tonight. What'd you see in those singles? Are you trying to hit the ball hard for extra bases, or are you just trying to get on?
Yeah. I'm always trying to work the center field and drive the ball, maybe backspin it, and but I had 2 strikes in the first at bat, and at that point it's all about just seeing the ball and putting the barrel on it.
And you guys have really played well, and what do you have to do to keep on playing well?
Well, it's all about, like this last week, like BT said, it's all about playing for each other. Your personal stats don't matter. It's all about just coming together as a team and doing whatever it takes to win a championship.
And, does that kind of factor in on just trying to get on base to be a base runner, another run to score also?
Well, with guys on base, our team philosophy all year has kind of been, drive the ball in the gap. But base runners, you need to get base runners regardless, and so yeah.
All right, Johnny, thank you very much. Congratulations, and enjoy your off day. We'll see you on Thursday.
All right, thank you.
Johnny Loker, our player of the game, and we'll be right back with Taylor's take on the Matsu Miners post-game show, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts.
All right. We're on the air. Whoops.
All right, here is head coach Ben.
It took 2 years for one of those to come out, so sorry about that.
All right. So here with Ben Taylor and Taylor's take. Coach, a win in game 1. Stubbs really pitched well.
Stubblefield was fantastic. Once again, he rises to the occasion, and he was fantastic, man. That was awesome.
And the bats in game 2, not quite there, but the pitching seemed to struggle early on. But the bullpen guys got their time in.
Yeah, you know what? It was good. We got some guys some work, and it's good.
we had noticed that a couple guys came out of the lineup, and we assume that's just you're in.
Yeah,
Kick
we're
guys
in.
up.
We clinched. I hope so. As far
as we know, yeah.
We're in. There's a chance to give some guys, a blow going into an off day tomorrow, and we'll go from there.
What is obviously the goal is just to keep winning games to get the highest win percentage for home field advantage.
Yep.
But what is it about this team that you've seen all summer, other than just grinding every day and just coming in for early and coming in on days off? What have you seen from this bunch?
That's what it is. They grind every day. They come in early. We still take in and out. We take in and out before a doubleheader. They don't complain about it. They just go and do it. They show up every day ready to play baseball and to play for each other, and they work incredibly hard, and I'm really proud of them.
And did you go into this game knowing you wanted to use the bullpen so much, or after Sevy's start, and after you clinched, decided just to get guys in and give them an inning?
Well, after we went down 5 in the first inning, it was like, okay, let's go Johnny Holstaff day and see how it, plays out from there. So, yeah, it's good.
Coach, National League champions, how's that sound?
Yeah, good. I'm more of an American League guy, but that's okay. I like the DH.
Well, the name is the National League, but you play an American League style game.
Great, man. It's great. It's neat that the 2014 Matsu Minor kiddos get the honor to play for a Alaska Baseball League championship. It's a pretty awesome thing.
Coach, congratulations. You've done a great job all summer. Enjoy the day off. It's well-deserved.
Thanks, man.
And we'll be right back and wrap things up on the post-game show, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Taylor pretty much just summed everything up. The Miners are National League champions. They will play for an Alaska Baseball League championship, the top of the World Series. That begins on Tuesday, July 29th. We do not have enough details yet on who they will play, where that will be played, and when that starts.
It's a safe bet. It's either the Bucks or the Panners. We can say that much.
We can probably, I think we could say that much, but don't know where it will be played or what time. That's certainly to be determined. There is still, let's see, 4 games left. Off day tomorrow. They play the Bucks the 24th in Anchorage. That is our next broadcast. Be with us 6:45 for the Matsu Miners pregame show, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. In Game 1, the Miners get the win 1-0. In Game 2, they fall 10-1 to the Alaska Goldpanners of Fairbanks. Once again, the final in Game 2, 10-1. And for the last time, your 2014 Matsu Miners are champions of the National League and the Alaska Baseball League. So for Emma Tiedemann and the 2014 National League champion Matsu Miners, I'm Austin Pollock. Good night, and we will see you in Anchorage on Thursday night.